Hi, I'm Jess.
And I'm Kassidy.
And we're two 21-year-olds from Canada.
And it's our turn to tell you our side of the story.
We're going to give you some tips and tricks on all things to do with concerts and tours.
And show you what it's really like to be a fangirl.
Stay tuned and we'll show you the ins and the outs of this lifestyle.
And tell you some interesting stories along the way.
Because it's finally
our turn.
Hello, people, and welcome back to another episode of Our Turn, the podcast.
Episode 8?
I think so.
I don't know, last week we talked about outdoor shows, so I think it's episode 8.
I think it's episode 8 as well.
Sounds about right.
But today we're talking about VIP, and we did do an episode about our VIP, tips.
On, how to buy tickets?
Yes. But now we're going to tell you about the actual experience itself, and, once you've bought your VIPs, which make sure you listen to that episode if you haven't already, to find out, how to actually get the VIP, but once you get it, and go into the experience.
There's lots of little tips that a lot of people don't know about. Don't mind us, we have tea today. So if you hear
a slurp,
that's what it is.
That's the tea, sis. But yeah,
we live in Canada and it's cold.
And we're in
the garage filming.
So it's a little bit chilly. But yeah, so basically we have been through our fair share of VIPs. I think my first one was in 2014. I was in what grade?
Whose was yours?
10? Emblem 3.
Mine was in 2013, the day before my sister graduated from elementary school. Because I remember coming home from downtown and my parents were like, hey, get dressed! I was like, ah. But I think it was 2013.
Yeah. Who was it for?
Before you exit.
Oh, that's right.
I met Dora the Explorer when I was 6.
Oh, I met Barney. So
but
that's pretty cool.
That doesn't count because I was 6 and I didn't buy it. But no, in 2013, my friends bought it for me for my birthday and they surprised me. It was at Cody Simpson's tour. And they were like, Kassidy, we gotta go. And I was like, he still has 2 songs left. What do you mean we have to go? And I was like, I'm not going anywhere. I was like, I want to listen to this. They're like, Kassidy, just follow us. And then we walked outside of the venue. I think it was at the Orpheum. So we walked to the Staples across the street. I think there's a Staples there. And I was like, why are we in front of the Staples? I was just finishing watching him perform. And then we met up with the band's mom, who was also their manager. And then we went around to their tour bus, and it was tour bus to VIP. So we sat in their tour bus, and they sang us some songs, and then we took pictures. And man, those pictures are taken on iPhone 3 quality. It's not a good look. Well, I didn't know I was meeting them either, so I'm literally wearing merch. It's not a vibe. So
but it happens.
Maybe we'll post our most embarrassing meet and greets on our Instagram.
We should.
I think that'd be funny.
Yeah, we'll post our most embarrassing meet and greets.
Tomorrow. So after you listen to this, so we'll post it on Saturday.
Yes.
We'll post
be excited because I am definitely not. But
I've got lots of embarrassing ones though because my Emblem 3 one's not any better.
Yeah, I have some awkward experiences, and we're gonna help you not have an awkward experience.
Yeah,
we've been through.
Oh, we've done lots of things. But
yeah, I guess we should get into our little list of tips here. So the first one is make sure you know it's okay to be nervous. It's completely fine to be nervous and be starstruck when you first meet them, especially if it's the first time you're going to a VIP for whoever.
Oh yeah, it's because you're gonna go and you're gonna be like, can't make a fool of myself. Can't show that I'm excited. Show your
It's fine.
You're allowed to be excited. That's something. That's a big deal for some people. Exactly.
So don't be nervous to the point where I feel like some people are so nervous they work themselves up and it gets to be this big whole deal, and then they let themselves down in a way because they're like, oh my god, I made a fool of myself. Yeah. There's still people at the end of the day, and you're allowed to be starstruck, you're allowed to be excited, you're allowed to be nervous.
We have met, why don't we, more times than we'd like to admit.
Yes.
But so we're not starstruck anymore, but we're still excited going in, and they know that.
Yeah, we're excited to see them because it's still somebody that we look up to and that we support, and you see them online and stuff. So when you finally get to see them in person and hug them and talk to them, it's just a fun time.
Yeah, it's always nice, and if it's your first time, it's always nice getting to, interact with somebody that you have put a face to on the internet for so long. You get to actually put a face to a person.
Yeah, right? It's nice to actually.
And they like meeting us too, because then they get to put faces to usernames sometimes.
Exactly.
And they want to see the people that are helping make them live their dreams.
Exactly. Yeah. So
it's important to them as well.
It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be starstruck, but just
don't work yourself up.
Exactly.
It ruins the whole experience.
Yeah. But the next one is introduce yourself when you go in, especially if it's the first time. Be like, hi, I'm Jessica.
Yeah.
Hi, whatever. It's nice to
They're normal people.
Exactly.
Introduce yourself to them. It helps spark a conversation because you don't want to have to go through your meet and greet just like, oh, hi, and just like hug them and walk away. It's, oh, hi, my name is Kassidy. Like introduce yourself.
Yeah,
it
nice
will
to
help
meet
spark
you.
a conversation.
Yes, it makes it a lot more carefree and a lot more just like smooth. So
It makes it more personal because then
yes,
you get to hear them like, oh, hi, Kat. Like, oh, hi, Jess. Nice to meet you. Or, you know.
Yeah, and like the other thing kind of going along with that is like follow their lead. If they are going in for a hug,
Go in for the
You
hug.
know,
I mean, unless you're not comfortable with it, you don't have to.
exactly, yeah.
But, like, if you're comfortable with it, if they go in for a hug them. If they go in for a handshake, whatever.
Shake their hand, whatever. If
But-
they look like they don't want to hug or anything, then just, respect that. And that's a big thing, too, is respecting them, which we'll go kind of into detail a little bit later. But
Respect is a huge part of it.
yeah, but just, follow the lead, play it by ear, and just, like, do what feels natural, just like you would with any other person, like, on the street.
Exactly. Try to act what is called normal. Don't scream in their face. You're in there to meet them, have a good time. They don't want you screaming in their face.
No. Remember,
Like-
they are people.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want people...
This is their job. They don't want people screaming in their face.
Yeah. Don't scream. Don't jump on them. Don't mob them. Like, don't start a freaking mob. People try and do that sometimes, and you see videos, and it's like, it never ends well.
No.
Never ends well for the artist. Never ends well for the fan. Like, it just is a horrible experience all around. So just, again, be respectful.
Respect is key. You gotta respect them.
Treat them like regular people. I mean...
Because at the end of the day, while they have more of a following and they get to do something in front of people for their, like, career, they're still people.
Yeah.
Regardless, right?
Another thing is if you are going to be like having a phone conversation where you have time, it's not just a quick go up, give them a hug, take a picture and walk out, and you actually have time to have a conversation, make sure you are kind of respecting the boundaries that they kind of set. And you can kind of understand that by interviews and stuff like that, or just knowing.
And if you're getting VIP for an artist, a lot of the time you watch interviews, so you know where they set their boundaries.
Exactly. So don't go up to them and ask them all their personal lives and about this relationship or this relationship and how is it breaking up with this girl or this and that. And, like, respect them, just like you wouldn't go up to your next door neighbor and be like, "So how did your divorce go?" That's
just
you do.
It makes it awkward.
It does, and it kind of crosses that boundary.
And plus, you want a positive conversation.
Yes.
You don't want to bring up things that you know they don't want to talk about because that's gonna.
Yeah. They're either gonna answer it in an awkward way and trying to kind of push it off to the side and make them feel uncomfortable, which in a way is gonna make you feel uncomfortable, or they're gonna say, "Oh, like sorry, like I don't really want to answer that,"
which is
or,
just
like,
gonna make you feel awkward.
Exactly, and also make them feel awkward because they're not answering the question that you wanted to know, and it just makes for an all-around uncomfortable situation that nobody wants to be in. So just respect their boundaries and just use common sense when it comes to stuff.
Another good way to start conversations is compliments.
Yes.
Whether it's like a physical compliment, or I know like a lot of things that I've gone in, we've been like, oh yeah, like this song's really helped us, or it's done this, or talk to them about something that they've done in their career that's helped you, or helped, like, oh, I met this, like if we went into a 2-pack, it's like, oh yeah, we met each other because of you guys.
Exactly.
So compliments kind of a nice other way to start
like, oh, I like your shirt, or I like your shoes, and those are such an easy way. It's like, hi, nice to meet you, I'm Jessica, I really like your shoes, and it just
and then chances are they will also throw you a compliment back,
which is not ever a bad thing.
And then that puts a smile on your face because you're like, oh my god, this person that I like this person that I like follow said that he likes this, and I'm like,
it's quite fantastic. Okay, thank you. Another thing is, don't be something that you're not. Like, don't go into the experience trying to pretend to be somebody else. Like, be yourself. And, like, if you are going into it pretending to be this whatever different kind of person, it comes off fake. Even though you might be really good at playing the character and really good at doing this, people know, and people can kind of, even if they haven't met you before, they can tell you're kind of, this girl just seems fake, and you don't want to come off fake.
Well, and be yourself, because they haven't met you before.
Exactly.
They're meeting a new person. They want to see what you're like.
Exactly.
Don't try to be like somebody else. You want to be yourself, because
they don't want to see a copycat.
Cliche enough, but everybody else is already taken.
Exactly.
So be yourself.
Exactly. Another thing kind of going off of that is, with being yourself, if you have like a unique question or something unique about you, like a talent or something like that, it never hurts to show that off to kind of stand out. Like,
I like to show my tattoos to people because I have so many tattoos that are either lyrics or written out by artists. I'll walk into a meet and greet and I'll be like, hey, remember writing this? Or look at, show off something. Like this.
Yeah, it's like I learned how to play your song on piano or whatever, and like, I mean, you can't necessarily demonstrate that in a VIP,
no.
But just like, there's other things like that just kind of make you stand out and put you above and beyond, like tattoos, for example,
or you'll see videos of people singing to them and that kind of stuff.
And obviously not everybody has to do that. Like, I don't.
Or like a lot of people bring art and
yes, I can't draw.
Stuff.
I can't sing.
I can get tattoos.
There you.
That is my unique talent to bring to the meet and greet. Is I can get ink drawn into my skin.
There you go. We're not saying necessarily you have to do that, but
that's just a me thing.
I was gonna say it doesn't hurt, but it does hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to the next one. Not about your tattoos. Moving on to the next one is don't hog all the time. So if you're in a line that goes one by one, and your turn goes up, you go up, you hug your people, whatever, you take your picture, you hug your people, you leave. Don't try and stay there cutting other people's time.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's paid the money to be in there and should get an equal experience.
Well, because they only have a certain amount of time to run the VIPs. So if you're at the front and you hog time and you take more time than you're supposed to, even though everyone's telling you to move on, the people at the back are going to get way less time.
Exactly. And then that's not fair to them because they pay the same amount of money as you, or even if they didn't.
Or if they do have
fair.
extra time to do it, then the people outside are going to be mad because they're going to have to wait even longer to get inside.
Exactly. So just don't be selfish. Respect everyone else's time. Don't be a hog, especially if it's in a situation where it's kind of a free-for-all, where you go up and you can talk to them and have conversations, just as like Why Don't We has their Limelight package where...
Don't hog the time.
No,
have your conversation with them and then go on to the next, because everybody paid a lot of money to be there. They all want to have a conversation, and if you're having a 15-minute long conversation with someone, then not everyone's going to get the chance.
Exactly, and it's also awkward for the person who is doing the meet and greet. Like, the celebrity might not necessarily want to... like, oh, sorry, like, I can't talk to you anymore, it's been too long. But at the same time, they know they have to get through all these other people, and you're taking up all that time, and obviously they're not going to be like, sorry, bye, like, you need to go now. But they might be thinking it, and, like, you don't want to have
and then you don't want, exactly.
So it just looks bad, you look selfish, people will give you dirty looks, and that's just not a fun thing to have. So just be respectful of other people.
But yeah, like we said, respect is the main thing going into a meet and greet. You want to use the golden rule, treat others as you want to be treated. Don't walk into there being completely rude. They're not going to want to meet you if you're being rude.
Be yourself, be respectful, kind of take the cues of other people as well as the artist, and like, just use your brain. And at the end of the day, if you're thinking and using common sense and just like being respectful, that's it. Because like, the key is respect. And if you have respect for the artist, you're going to have a good time.
Yeah, and they're going to respect you back.
Exactly.
And then their team, because most artists, they'll have team members, like they'll have a photographer there or a person on their team taking the photos. But if they're telling you to move along, it's time to move along. That means your time's coming up. Don't ignore them and just, because I know for Why Don't We, because we've had lots of those ones that you always see videos of them being like, 3, 2, 1, like, come on, let's go. But that's because it means time's up. You only have so much time. Unfortunately, I know it's a lot of money, but everybody paid money, so everybody gets their chance. And it's a lot of money for a short amount of time, but it really is worth it.
Yeah. But also going back to the whole, like, don't go into other people's time sort of thing, when you see those videos where it's super, super, super fast, chances are something happened along the lines where somebody took too long.
Yeah.
And then it pushed into other people's time, and that's why they're so rushed. We now have 100 people to get through, and we have to get through in the next 10 minutes. And it's like, boom, boom, boom.
Well, that's a little bit of an exaggeration.
But
yeah, this point is there.
Exactly. So it's...
yeah, so you just gotta respect them, respect the other people around you, respect their team, everybody around you, the venue staff.
Exactly. Although some of them cannot be the best sometimes, there's some interesting...
be the bigger person.
Exactly.
Because you don't want to cause anything to get the possibilities of you getting in trouble and getting told to leave, and you'd rather just be nice and be able to stay at your meet and greet and concert and stuff that
just have a good time
to be there for.
Exactly. I think that's all the tips we have for like what to do personality wise in a way, or like we have a few tips what you can do like physically to kind of better your experience. The first one is have your phone in your pocket. I mean, it doesn't always work if you are taking the picture on your phone.
Yes, it doesn't work if you're taking the picture on your phone. And some artists it doesn't work for.
Yes.
Sean, it doesn't work for.
Some artists do take
The
your phones.
security guard says, okay, give me your phone, I'll hold it. And you have to put your purse and everything on a table on the outside.
Yeah.
So, you can't really do it for him, but there's other artists.
A lot of other artists.
You have an outfit that you can keep your phone in.
Yes, or even like a waistband. I put your phone in your waistband or whatever, have either a video or a voice recording.
I
so
put
you
it
can
in
get
between my legs when I was wearing a dress.
Oh, how did you do that?
I held it
Who
between
was
my
that
knees.
for?
I don't me in Brisbane.
Oh.
I held it between my knees.
Did you just waddle?
Because I didn't have any pockets and I didn't want to hold my hands, so I just put it between my knees.
Did you like put it in like your shorts at all, or just like
No, I just
waddled?
put it between my knees. And then I grabbed it.
Wait, I remember you saying that and you just like reached up your dress. Yeah, so in a perfect world, you just drank your tea string. Sorry, Cass is a mess
Hold
over
on.
here.
I just... I'm crying.
Sorry, she's crying over here. Pause for a momentary break. So in a perfect world, basically, you'd be able to have a phone in a pocket. But yeah, voice recording or video. Personally, I typically do a video because you can...
Video seems to work a bit better.
Also, I feel like it's safer.
Yeah.
Because voice recording sometimes I feel like can glitch. In a video, you know, as long as you hit
definitely
start and you just keep it going, you should be good to go as long as you don't hit that
And the audio's
button.
not going to be crystal clear.
Oh, definitely not.
It's really not. I promise you that. We've got some pretty crappy audios. But
better
it's a
than
little bit.
nothing. And if you pick
Exactly.
up pieces here and there, especially if you're someone like us who, like, I feel like we go blank kind of when it comes to
100%. No matter who I'm meeting. Like,
I'm like, what happened?
I'll meet them and then someone will be like, oh, how'd it go? And I'll be like, I don't really know.
I don't remember.
And sometimes I'll, like, just, like, not even realize what I'm, like, this
Saying.
is something not to do, is I won't even realize what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Last time I met Why Don't We, I pretty sure Corbin was talking to me and Corbin and Daniel were talking to me and I just, like, blocked, like, my head and was like, not even paying attention.
I'm just here.
So
but-
don't do that. Pay attention if they're talking to you. Answer them back. Don't be rude to them.
But it does happen.
We've been rude to people by accident multiple times.
I am sorry, boys. I did not mean to. It's fine, though. It happens.
But it wasn't like a mean rude. It was
No,
just like a...
it's
I
just-
think they could tell.
We
and
were both just in a daze.
that had been like a week and they had seen me all week because I'd gone to all 3 of their shows that week. They knew I was coming to the point of getting out of it.
We were just in a daze of confusion, so it happens. But yeah, just basically, yeah, perfect world, screen recording or voice recording. That screen recording though, if you are taking a video on or a picture on your phone, screen record it so you have the video.
And make sure the mic is on.
If you like swipe up, if you do have an iPhone and you like swipe up and hit your screen recording and you hold it down, it'll show a little microphone button. Click that so it says microphone on. It'll
So then
show
you
up
can
red.
still get the audio.
And then it'll pick up the audio from like the surrounding area, just like it would if you're taking a video or a voice memo.
Now, obviously, it doesn't always work.
No.
Because I met Jack and I had that up, and it was all good, and everything was going to be perfect. Number one, I didn't turn the audio on. And number two, the guy who was taking the picture wasn't even facing my camera at them the entire time.
Yeah, so
I was hugging them.
It's not perfect, but I mean, it's
Just in
worth
case.
a shot.
Exactly.
And
because
who
we've had
knows?
it work so many times.
Yeah.
I have so many videos hugging people.
The other thing is, if you have a parent or a friend or somebody in line, either in front of you or behind you, that is able to take a video for you of your meet and greet. Now, this isn't allowed in every meet and greet. There's a lot that aren't.
The smaller the artist, the
more
more likely it is that you'll be able to do so.
Exactly. So just, if you are able to, I mean, I would recommend doing it. Again, screen record it just in case something happens. I always like to screen record even if I'm taking a video or something during it, just in case something, they turn it off too soon or start it too early or whatever happens. But yeah, it doesn't hurt to have that footage just in case, and you can always delete it after. But
yeah. But, and then, like we were saying in the GA video, if it's a summer show and it's hot outside, make sure you have, like, your little bag with a hairbrush, some deodorant, some perfume. If it's a hot day and
after,
people are like, especially if it's after. But if it's a hot day and you're sweating, you don't want to walk into that meet and greet and smell not
crusty.
good. You would rather just let me just put some deodorant on.
We had an interesting experience in Costa Mesa with Eben. We went hard, and it was
We went
hot.
a little too hard. There's no such thing as going too hard, but like
we went too hard.
We went too hard. And it was hot, and it was outside. So,
and
I had to go get paper towels at one point for it.
Yeah.
Because it was so hot, and then
we were jumping up and down.
It was just, like, not a good time.
No, we went to the bathroom.
And then we had to go to the bathroom before we went into the meet and greet, and, like...
We, like, had a shower in the sink.
Pretty much, and fixed our makeup and our hair.
Perfume.
That was my least proud moment of any meet and greet I've ever had.
And then we went into a dressing room for the meetup. And we
it was
thought
so
it was going to be a line, and it wasn't. So we went to the back of the line on purpose, and it wasn't even a line. It was a giant clump. So we ended up being stuck in the corner of a dressing room.
They changed it after that night.
Because it was such a gong show.
But, even if you look at those pictures, we were not looking our best. You could tell that we had been sweating. My hair was just not it anymore because I left my hair natural that day.
And you put it in, like, braids while the show was going on, and then took them out after.
No, I did that for the next 2 shows.
Oh.
Because of that night.
Yeah.
Because I learned that. Well, because it's not often that we have meet and greets after shows. Most of the time they're before. But Eben was the opening artist, so it was after the show. After Costa Mesa, I realized no matter how I did my hair, if I curled it, I just put it in 2 little low pigtails during the show. And if I straightened it, I would just braid it because my hair looks fine braided. So that way, when I am done, my hair doesn't look as crazy.
But that's all trial and error and see how it goes.
We definitely have some pretty
interesting pictures.
Gross looking pictures.
But you know what? It's still fun memories. At the end of the day, it's still going to be a fun memory. And even if it doesn't go perfectly as planned, it's still a fun time. And at the end of the day, just make the most of it. And that's all you can really ask for.
Another good thing to have in mind before you go, if you want to do a pose, know what it is. Try not to make it difficult.
Make sure it's
you don't
allowed
have time
as well.
for that. Exactly. There are lots that have been changed that aren't allowed, but don't have it too difficult that they can't figure it out. If it's not a difficult pose, but it's kind of difficult to explain, easiest thing to do, print out a picture. Yeah. Or have it on your phone. Just be like, this is a pose I want to do. Can we do this?
Exactly.
Makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a pose. If you want, you can just stand there.
Yeah, don't worry about the pose, because I feel like that's something that we were worried about before, is we were so, like, anxious about, like, oh my god, what are we going to do for our picture?
And now we don't even do poses anymore, really.
We're just like, what's up?
And all of our photos still look different because the artist is still, well...
Depends.
Not all artists, but some artists will make them look different. Like, their face will be different. They'll do something with their hand.
They'll smile. They'll grin.
Be
they'll cheese.
stupid.
Yeah, so it just all depends.
But if you want to have a specific pose, make sure you are prepared for the pose.
Make sure you do your research. And speaking of research, if you're going to bring a gift, make sure you research about gifts beforehand. Yes. Some artists allow them inside the venue. Some artists get them taken away at security. Some people don't allow them at all. So check into it beforehand.
Some artist teams will take them before you meet them, so you won't actually get to hand it to them.
It's just all different for different venues, different shows, different people. So just do your research.
Yeah. And chances are, if the team takes it, like, before you take the picture, they're still going to get it, so you don't have to worry about that.
Exactly.
You just don't have time to hand it to them. I remember first time I met Why Don't We, I had brought them gifts, and I was the last person at that show to be able to hand them their gifts because everybody was doing it and it was taking so long. So like, okay, no, if you have gifts now, you have to. And I was like, sorry.
So you ruined it for everybody.
I did.
She did, but I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's
all the tips we have, but. There's obviously a lot more, and like we said earlier on, it's all trial and error.
It really is.
How it goes.
And if you have any questions about, if you have your first VIP coming up and you have any questions about it.
They won't right now.
But when you have, if you have any questions, even if you don't have one coming up, you just have questions, you can always ask us. We love to talk about them.
Oh, yeah.
We love to talk about our experiences.
Exactly. So you feel free to.
Why this podcast is a thing.
Exactly. Just DM us if you have any questions. Where can they DM us?
My Instagram is at Kassidy Lesser with a K, and my Twitter is at _Kassidy Page with a K again.
And my Instagram is jfools1195, and my Twitter is at _It's Jess Taylor. And you can also find us on Instagram at OurTurnOfficial.
And you can also, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can stream our podcast on Anchor, Spotify, I think Google Podcasts. We have links to it all in our Instagram bio. And if you are streaming this on Spotify or Anchor or something, you can also watch it on YouTube. So giving people the options on how they want to listen to us blab about
nonsense,
the stuff we like to do.
Exactly. Yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was fun to kind of reminisce on a few things that we can't do right now, but yeah. Hopefully life will go back to normal before too long, and we can actually put these tips and tricks to use. But until then, this is it, I guess. Well, thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.